Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a flame dance its brightest just before it dies out? That's what you become when you keep burning yourself for someone who doesn't even feel the heat. They sit in the cold, indifferent, while you scorch yourself trying to keep them warm. Today, I'm here to tell you, stop. Stop fueling the fire. Walk away and watch the cold consume them. Let me tell you something. Sit down and listen. I'm not here to hold your hand or paint some rosy picture of life. I'm here to tell you the truth, raw, unfiltered, and ugly. You know the truth no one else will tell you because it's easier for them to lie, to make you believe the world is fair, that loyalty exists, that love is forever. Ha! What a joke. Look around you, really look. Everyone's so busy pretending they care, pretending they're there for you, pretending they'll never leave. You're different, aren't you? You cared for them. You gave them more than just attention. You gave them your soul. You wanted to hold them tight, protect them from the storms they wouldn't even admit were coming. But they are deaf to your kindness, blind to your effort. They didn't just ignore you, they dismissed you like you were nothing more than background noise in their chaotic, self-absorbed world. You watched them turn away, their silence slicing through you like a blade. You thought if you just held on a little longer they'd see you. But they didn't. They won't. Because people like that only notice what they've lost when it's gone. They'll stay blind until the light you provided vanishes, leaving them in a darkness they'll never know how to escape. And that's the cruel truth, isn't it? They don't even realize the value of the flame until the warmth is nothing but a memory. But you're done, aren't you? You've tried. You've bled. You've cried. And now, it's time to stop. Not for them, not for revenge, but for you. Walking away isn't weakness. It's reclaiming your strength. It's choosing to no longer set yourself on fire for someone who wouldn't even hold a match for you. When you leave quietly. Don't slam the door. Don't yell. Don't explain yourself. Just go. Let your absence speak the words your lips don't need to. Let your silence be the scream that echoes in their mind when they finally sit in the void you leave behind. Because trust me, they'll feel it. Oh, they'll feel it. Like a sharp jab to the chest, like a nightmare they can't wake up from. And you'll rise. Every step you take away from them is a step closer to reclaiming who you are. Remember this, their inability to see your worth doesn't define you. It defines them. You were never the problem. You were the gift they didn't bother to unwrap. So now, it's time to choose yourself. Say it with me. I am done. I am free. I am enough. Drop it in the comments. Write those words as a declaration, as a promise to yourself that you will never again beg for someone to see what you bring to the table. Let them sit in the silence. Let them choke on the emptiness. And let you rise from the ashes, stronger than ever. Comment below, I am done. I am free. I am enough. Say it. Mean it. And let the world hear your silence. But that's the point of walking away, to finally stop living for someone else and start rediscovering who you are. The emptiness you feel isn't a curse. It's a chance to rebuild. It's the silence after the storm, the moment when the noise dies down, and you can hear your own voice again. Think about it. When was the last time you prioritized yourself? When was the last time you asked, what do I want? Instead of, what do they need? Walking away isn't just about leaving them behind. It's about finding yourself again. It's about nurturing the parts of you that have been ignored, silenced, or overshadowed. Start small. Write down the things you love, the dreams you've buried, the goals you once thought were impossible. Take yourself out. Yes, alone. Go to that cafe you've always wanted to try. Take a walk in the park. Read that book that's been sitting on your shelf for months. Treat yourself the way you wished they would have treated you, with love, respect, and care. And when the doubts creep in, and they will, remind yourself why you walked away. Think about the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the times you felt invisible, the moments you begged for their attention, only to be met with indifference. You didn't leave because it was easy. You left because staying was killing you. Healing isn't linear. There will be days when you feel unstoppable, like you can conquer the world. And then there will be days when the emptiness feels too heavy, when you question if you made the right choice. On those days, remember this: you are not alone. Countless others have walked this path before you, and they came out stronger, wiser, freer. So will you. Find your tribe, the people who see your worth without you having to prove it. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, who remind you of your light even on your darkest days. Let go of the ones who dim your shine. Your energy is precious. Don't waste it on those who don't value it. One day, you'll look back on this time and realize it was the turning point, the moment you chose yourself over someone who couldn't see your worth. You'll see how far you've come, how much you've grown, and you'll be proud of the person you've become. You'll realize that the emptiness wasn't something to fear. It was the space you needed to create a life that truly belongs to you. Say it with me: I am enough. I am whole. I am free. Write it in the comments. Let it be your mantra, your promise to yourself. And as you move forward, remember this: you deserve a love that doesn't make you question your worth. You deserve peace, joy, and fulfillment. You deserve everything you've been giving to others, and more. So walk away, keep walking, and don't look back. The best is yet to come. Step 1. Embrace the silence. Silence. You've been conditioned to think silence is your enemy. That's a lie. Silence isn't the absence of noise, it's the presence of clarity. It's the space where you start to hear the things you've been too busy or too afraid to notice. It's the moment you realize that all those sleepless nights, all that energy you wasted, wasn't love. It was survival. You were fighting for someone who wasn't fighting for you. And now that you've stopped, the silence is your chance to regroup. Think of silence as the pause before the symphony starts. Use it to breathe, to cry, to scream if you need to, but don't fill it with desperate calls or texts to the person you walked away from. Let them sit in their own silence while you make peace with yours. Step 2. Replace the void. Emptiness only wins if you let it stay empty. Fill it with things that remind you of your worth. Reconnect with old hobbies. Pick up that book you never finished, or start a new project. Take walks, journal your thoughts, or learn something new. These aren't just distractions. They're ways to reclaim the energy you gave away. Imagine your life as a cup. You've spent so long pouring it into someone else's hands that you've forgotten how to fill it for yourself. Start small. Add one drop at a time. Before you know it, your cup will overflow, and they won't even recognize the person you've become. Step 3. Stop romanticizing the past. Here's the brutal truth. You're not missing them. You're missing the version of them you created in your mind. The one who cared, who listened, who made promises they never kept. That person wasn't real. The real version of them is the one who ignored your needs, took you for granted, and left you feeling invisible. You can't heal by holding on to what broke you. Repeat that until it sinks in. They didn't love you the way you deserved. and their absence isn't a loss. It's a gift, a clean slate, a chance to build something that isn't made of lies and disappointment. Step 4. Let the pain transform. Pain is inevitable. It's going to hit you in waves, sometimes gentle, sometimes like a hurricane. Don't fight it. Fighting only prolongs the suffering. Instead, let it wash over you and carry away the parts of you that were tied to them. Pain is a sculptor, chiseling away the weak, broken pieces to reveal the strength underneath. Think of it like forging steel. It has to go through fire to become unbreakable. That's what you're doing right now, becoming something that can't be shattered again. Let the emptiness burn away the parts of you that settled for less than you deserved. Step 5. Realize what you gained. When you walked away, you didn't lose them. You lost the chains they wrapped around you. You lost the anxiety of waiting for their attention, the exhaustion of trying to be enough, the pain of being ignored. You gained yourself. Take a moment to look in the mirror. That person staring back, they've been waiting for you to come back. You've spent so long being someone else's anchor that you forgot how to stand tall on your own. Now's your chance to rebuild, to grow, to rise from the ashes, stronger and more radiant than ever. Step 6. Remember this affirmation. Say this with me. I am not empty. I am rebuilding. I am not lost. I am finding myself. I am enough. Write it in the comments. Let it be the spark that ignites your transformation. Say it every time the silence feels overwhelming. Say it every time the past tries to pull you back. Drop it in the comments right now. I am rebuilding. I am enough. Let it remind you, and anyone else reading, that walking away isn't the end. It's the beginning of a life where you finally put yourself first. Because the truth is, emptiness isn't your enemy. It's your greatest ally. It's the space where you finally have room to grow. Let it guide you, not haunt you. Let it be the silence that heals you, not the void that breaks you. How to convert pain to freedom. Pain has a way of sinking its teeth into you, doesn't it? It grips you, suffocates you, and whispers lies into your ear. This is forever. You'll never escape me. You're stuck here, drowning in everything they did to you. But here's the thing about pain. It's not your enemy. It's your raw material. It's the hammer and chisel in your hands. And when you wield it right, it doesn't break you. It frees you. Think of a diamond. It doesn't start off beautiful. It's just a piece of carbon, buried under the weight of the earth, crushed by pressure, beaten by time. But it's that very crushing, that relentless pressure, that creates its brilliance. Your pain? It's your pressure. It's what's shaping you, sharpening you, preparing you to shine in a way they'll never comprehend. When they walked away, when they betrayed you, when they made you feel invisible, they thought they were breaking you. They thought they'd crushed you so completely you'd never rise again. But here's the truth they'll never see. Every time they hurt you, they handed you the tools to set yourself free. Pain is a teacher, and freedom is the lesson. The hurt you feel isn't permanent, it's a message. It's your body, your heart, your mind screaming at you. Let go, walk away, build something better. They didn't take your freedom, they showed you where to find it. It's not in their approval, it's not in their validation. It's in the moment you decide you've suffered enough. Let me tell you about AA. She was in love, head over heels, the kind of love that makes you think you've found your forever. And for a while, it felt perfect, until it didn't, until the lies started creeping in, the distance, the excuses. One day, she found out he wasn't just drifting, he was with someone else. The pain, it was unbearable. She couldn't eat. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't breathe without the weight of his betrayal crushing her. But then something shifted. In the middle of her heartbreak, she realized the truth. The pain wasn't her enemy. It was her guide. Every tear she shed was washing away the version of herself that believed she needed him. Every sleepless night was a reminder that she deserved better. Every stab of betrayal was fuel for her to build a life where no one could ever make her feel like she wasn't enough again. And so, AA used her pain. She let it light a fire under her. She rebuilt her career. She rekindled her passions. She reconnected with the friends she'd neglected while trying to hold on to someone who wasn't worth it. And when he came crawling back, full of apologies and regret, she didn't even blink. She didn't feel anger. She didn't feel pity. She felt free. That's the beauty of pain. It doesn't have to be your prison. It can be your wings. It forces you to confront the parts of yourself you've ignored, the pieces of you that you've let others trample on. It's the catalyst that transforms you from someone who's been hurt into someone who's unstoppable. They thought they'd bury you, but they didn't realize you were a seed. That's the truth of it, isn't it? Every time someone hurt you, every time they underestimated you, every time they took you for granted, they weren't destroying you. They were planting you, and now it's time to grow. Not for them, not to prove a point, but for you, for the version of yourself that's been waiting in the shadows, begging you to set her free. Pain is heavy. Yes. It's suffocating. Yes. But it's also temporary. The freedom it leads to, that's eternal. It's the kind of freedom that makes you realize you never needed them, that their love, their approval, their presence was a crutch you could walk without. And when you finally take that first step on your own, you'll wonder why you ever let them hold you back. Here's the truth. The pain you feel now is the price of freedom. It's the toll you pay to cross the bridge from who you were, with them, to who you're meant to become. And yes, it hurts. It burns. But it's a fire that purifies. It's a reminder that you're alive, that you're capable of feeling deeply, of loving fiercely. And if you can feel this much pain, imagine how much joy, how much peace, how much strength you're capable of too. So take that pain and turn it into your weapon. Let it fuel your growth, your passion, your purpose. Let it remind you of everything you survived, everything they thought would destroy you. Because every scar, every ache, every sleepless night is proof that you're still standing. And not just standing, rising. Say it with me. Pain is my power. Freedom is my birthright. I will rise. Drop it in the comments. Let it be your declaration, your promise to yourself, that this pain will not define you. It will refine you. Comment below. Pain is my power. I will rise. And when you look back on this moment, on this pain, you'll see it for what it really was, the beginning of your freedom.